Welcome to B Sessions. What is B Sessions? B Sessions is where we bring individuals to seeing what it is God desires for them to be. B Sessions is where we cause an individual to take a look within to see if they are being that which the word calls them to be. But the last thing that a B session is supposed to do is it's supposed to provoke the individual that desires to be all that God calls them to be so that they can truly show that they are a follower of Jesus Christ. Here's what we know. In the world we live in, community and discipleship is laughed at, it's mocked. And the reality is that in 2020, we have to be a church with strong community. Community that holds each other accountable. Community that is honest with each other. But most importantly, a community that is transforming one another. And so tonight, we begin this journey by bringing you into the sessions that will help you be what God called you to be. Let's get ready.
I am sensitive. My heart gets broken extremely easily. And I wish when I was 16 that somebody would have told me that my virginity was going to affect me so much further than the line than that one instance. I'm Asha, and I'm here to answer the question, why? Why did I choose to wait? Why am I still choosing to wait for my husband to have sex? When I was 16, I cared so much about what people had to say, how people felt. Do you like me? Do you still like me? And when I was 16, I used to put my all into a relationship, and that meant my heart, my mind, my opinions, my body. Not because I wanted to, but because that's what love is, right? That's what you do when you're in a relationship. That's what you do when you're giving 100% to somebody. That's what I thought. And then it was over, and I didn't really understand why I didn't feel loved. So I told my mom, and the look of disappointment that came over her face, the moment that my dad stopped wrapping his arms around me and walked off, that right there is my reason why. I would be lying to you if I told you that God had something to do with it. Why am I waiting? It's because I'm sensitive. It's because my heart gets broken easily. When I was 17, I still waited. I still gave 100%, but the one thing that I had some control over, my body, was no longer going to be the thing that defined your love for me. My heart is still affected, even from the choices that I made a year ago when I was 16. I'm still brokenhearted. I'm still not whole. Those shattered pieces can be broken. Those shattered pieces can be put back together by the love of other people, by my friends, by my family, by the things that I love to do, but my virginity is something that I will never get back. I am no longer Asha. I now have a piece of you. I am now soul tied to that person. Life continues, and I still put 100% into everybody and everything that I love. And the more I do that, and as the years go on, I find myself drawing back. I have no idea who I am, what I like to do, the things I'm interested in. I've completely fallen out of relationship with God at this point. Who is he? Other than the person that's giving me life, other than the person that I pray to and thank you for my food, my story. Why am I waiting until I'm married to have sex? It took me a long time to find who I am as a woman. I'm 27 and I am just now figuring out that I like to wear yellow. I'm just figuring out what I like to do, who I am, what self-love is, what self-worth is. I'm currently reading a book called A Space Called Chastity, and chastity is a space in which God wants to occupy with you as he guides you to discover the purpose of your life. It is a place where he wants no distractions. It's a place where he's able to completely use you. I want to be in that place. I want to be well beyond that place by the time that I'm ready for my husband, the one that God has sent for me to have sex with, to become one with. I'm constantly trying to figure out, why did I do the things that I've done? Why did I make that drastic decision at 16 to lay down and to give myself to somebody that didn't even know my worth? What was I looking for? I was looking for some worth. I was looking for someone who saw me the same way that the people who love me unconditionally saw me. All those years, I was looking for someone to fill the void that I've always been feeling. And I looked for it in all the wrong places. So then comes years and years of dibbling and dabbling in the things that aren't me, dibbling and dabbling in the life that I'm not called for. There are so many times where my life should have ended, where my life should have drastically, forever, permanently changed. And I'm so blessed beyond measure to be here right now, being able to tell the story of how I came to this point. Now, I told you in the beginning that my decision had nothing to do with Christ, and that's the truth. I want to say December 2018 is when I decided to make that change. I had reached my lowest. I didn't know where else to go, who else to turn to, who else was going to speak some type of life into me, who else was going to give me that feeling that I had been missing. And the only person that was there, the only person that hadn't turned away was God. And so I said, you know what? I've been on this journey of celibacy, of abstinence for so long, but I need more. I need a reason beyond that heartbreak. I need a reason beyond what the Bible tells me. I need for my life to be a story. So I started talking and sharing my testimony. And through that, I found you even more than I found you in my moment of brokenness and silence and solitude. And now I'm here, and now I'm able to share my story with everybody that's willing to listen. I'm able to tell people that it's okay to wait. It's okay to take that time to find your purpose in God, to allow him to order your steps, to allow him to mold you and form you and to shape you into what he wants you to be, so he can fill you to the capacity in which he knows you're able to take. It's okay to wait. It's okay for you to love you. Figure out what color you like to wear. Figure out the things that you love. It's okay. Nobody's judging you. Nobody can. How can they? Your self-worth. What do you deem yourself? What does God deem you? How much of you does he take and ask for nothing in return? So I'm here to share my story of now being 27, still celibate, still on fire for God, even more than I was a couple years ago when I started my journey. I'm hoping that my story can change somebody's life. I'm not perfect. I haven't always been this way, but it's the journey that makes the person, not their beginning or not the end. So thank you.
Man, great story, Asha.
Thank you.
Powerful, definitely.
Yeah.
And you being what God called you to be. So we got an audience that's going to watch this.
Okay.
And that audience is going to have some different mindsets because, again, 27, you got 22-year-olds,
Yeah.
20-year-olds looking at it. They calling you, extra, super spiritual.
Yeah.
Having a mentality basically that's like, my sexual sin ain't harming nobody.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? So what's the big issue? What would you say to that mindset, to that person that's watching tonight?
It's not about anybody else. I think it's more so about you. After you have sex with that person and comes a heartbreak, how bad is that heartbreak? You have now given your heart, you've given your body to that person, and so it's no longer yours. It has now become theirs that they've taken with you after a broken heart. So what of yours do you have left? It's not about who else you're harming, but the amount of hurt that you're gonna feel from it, from not having that one little thing that you did have some control over.
Wow, okay.
So.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
In this, again, this is all about community discipleship at the Common. You also got a mindset, especially, and I hear this a lot, in that Gen Z community, where it's kind of like, well, so-and-so had sex and so-and-so had sex. So, what's the big deal? Again, what do you say? Because your decision clearly, you took everybody out the equation but yourself and God.
Yeah.
So what would you say to that person that's watching tonight? Because the reality is, I'm not stupid, been in this thing for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So I know the mentalities that exist, you know what I'm saying, when you kind of create these moments.
Yeah.
So what would you say to that person that likes to throw other people's sin in to justify the sin that they are in?
No sin is bigger than the other sin. I mean, it tells you that clear as day in the Bible. But what does your heart have to give after your sin has been committed? That person isn't gonna be your answer into heaven or into hell. So what you carry around is gonna be the burden that you're gonna have to live with. It's gonna be the sin that you're gonna have to confess to, that you're gonna have to make right. It's not about anybody else, it's simply about you.
Cool, all right. Last question for you. What words would you give to our community leaders after listening to your story to kind of help them in driving a conversation with their community and those that because of this session they'll bring into their community? What kind of advice or thoughts you would give them to kind of shape the conversation and the experience moving forward?
Let your sheep, let the people that you are bringing to Christ, let the people that you are in discipleship with know that they don't have to start off being perfect. I didn't. You heard me tell that in my story. I have not always been abstinent. I haven't always been a virgin. So let them know from where they are, it can be the start of something new, from where they are right now in their life, as long as you're ready to meet God where you left him. There goes the beginning of your story. There goes the beginning of your relationship with Christ and the decisions that you're going to make from this point forward. So don't cast their past out. Don't hold it above their head and make them feel bad for the things that they have done. Just let them know that moving forward, these are the things that are expected. These are the things that are going to make him proud of you. These are the things that are going to make you the new, better version, best version of yourself.
Oh, hey, Boogie, my girl. All right, y'all, that's Asha Hopsu.
Bye, guys.
And this is B Sessions. We'll be back with the next guest.